Well, I'm on to my second whiskey of the night, and here it is. I've had a couple others of these kind of whiskeys recently. They're from Macaloney's Caledonian distillery, which is the nearest distillery to where I live. And they're all Canadian island triple distilled Potstill whiskies. So it's an Irish style whiskey made on Vancouver Island by Macaloney. This one here is carefully crafted in a muscatel barrique. It is 46% alcohol by volume, cask number 131, bottle number 53 of 367, and bottled in June of 2022. I got this as soon as it was ready. So I had this since June. As soon as it was ready, they sent me the email saying it's ready, and I ordered it right away. And here we go. This is the Macaloney's Kirkinriola, or is it Kirkinriola? Something like that. I'm not sure about my Irish pronunciation. Kirkinriola. Okay, I'll take your word for it. The last one I had was called Killee, and the one before that was called Kildare, and this is Kirkinriola. Now, it's a funny thing that when I look over here at the bill of sale, the Killee was $124.99. The Kildare was $124.99. But the Kirkinriola, or the Kirkinriola, is $129.99. Why is it $5 more? Are you paying for the bigger name? I really don't know. So $129.99 plus 15% in taxes. So 130. 130 times 0.15 is 19.5 plus 129.99 is well, $150. $149.49. $150. Some might argue that it's a young whiskey. It's doesn't have an age statement. It has a nice box, but it has a funky looking bottle with rounded shoulders. Is it worth $150? Well, I think it's worth what people will pay, and it is quite a limited edition. There's only 361 bottles of this ever made, and I have a backup because I went and bought some more a couple months later in August, not realizing that I had this already bunkered underneath my bar, but that's okay. So far, I like the Kildare, I like the Killee. They're both good, and having backup bottles of those two is not a bad thing. I also have some backup bottles of Glenloy, both 46% and cask strength, because I finished my first bottles of Glenloy. They were good. And Glenloy will not be produced anymore because of that lawsuit that they had with the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. Let me get at the little pull tab thing that you're supposed to pull on to open this. I don't think it's working. You might have to get a sharper knife. I think I'm on it. Yeah. Okay. I have to go at it again. Oh my goodness. Macaloney's is not making this easy to get at. I guess you got to work for it. And just slice the foil off. Come on. I know there's some of you who enjoy watching me struggle with these things. Okay, there we are. Is there anything? It just says Island Whiskey, Macaloney's, Caledonian. Great, good enough. We've got all the foil off of it. There we are. It is a composite cork, which is basically sawdust and glue, but it works. So this is aged or finished in muscatel casks. Carefully crafted in a muscatel barrique. So it might be a single barrel. A muscatel barrique. Oh, yeah. Right away. It has some of that sweet dessert wine thing going on. It's also nice and malty. And not only is it malty, but I'm getting that slightly sour, slightly nutty unmalted barley thing. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what happens with the legs here. I think we might be having some good leg action happening here. Oh, the primaries come down fast, but the secondaries are slow to happen. I don't know if you can see that. See those big drops on the edge there? The ones just above my glasses. The size of those drops. And those are the secondaries. They're coming down slowly. Okay. 46% should be pretty viscous. Of course, there's no age statement on it because it's young. It's youthful. It says some things on here. Canadian Island Triple Distilled Potstill Whisky, distilled and bottled by Macaloney Brewers and Distillers Limited. 761 Enterprise Crescent, Victoria, Canada. Come visit for tours and tastings, macaloneydistillers.com. Return for refund where applicable. And there is a bottle depot right around the corner from the distillery. So the bottle gets returned right close to where it was purchased. Canadian Potstill Whisky. European Muscatel Barrique. Okay. Yeah. And once again, this is what the bottle looks like for the Kirkinriola. Oh, it is delightful. You know, along with the Potstill malted and unmalted barley thing, I'm getting a little bit of that mushroom, a little bit of that fungus. And there could be a little bit of that fungus coming from the Muscatel Barrique. What do they call that again? Rancio or something like that? Might be a bit of Rancio happening here. Is it Rancio or Rancilio? It's just off the top of my head. I'm getting a little bit of that. It's not unpleasant. I remember once I was trying a sample of whiskey that somebody had sent me that was aged in cognac casks, that it had a lot of rancio, and all I got was the mushroom, the fungus. I'm getting a bit of that here, but it's not unpleasant. And of course I'm getting the dessert wine, the sweetness from the dessert wine, and the triple distilled malted and unmalted barley. Another very pleasant on the nose product from Macaloney's. These triple distilled Irish style Potstill whiskies that they're making over there at Macaloney's distillery are wonderful. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the nose on this. Now I'm gonna clear my palate. The last thing I had was Glendeveron, 20-year-old sherry casks. I like this. Oh. Okay. I'm definitely getting a lot of input from the wine cask, from the muscatel cask. I think this is the best muscatel cask expression that I have had from Macaloney's so far. Wow. It is nice. But that's just the first sip. That's just the beginning. Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely getting that rancio or whatever you call it. But it's not overpowering because I'm still getting the sweetness from the muscatel cask. And yes, this is very well balanced, and as it says on the bottle or on the box, carefully matured. Yeah. Macaloney sure knows what he's doing. This is a wonderful young whiskey with a very interesting maturation. I would say that there's a balance between the sweetness and the fungus on the finish. While the sweetness coats the tongue, the mushroom or fungus sort of tempers it down and gets it to the point where it's not cloyingly sweet. If not for the rancio, this wouldn't be any good. It would be too sweet for me, but with it, it's just right. It makes for a very interesting combination of flavors. And I imagine that this will only get better as the level goes down from the shoulder here into the spine. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. Very lovely. And now I understand kind of why it cost $5 more than the Kildare and the Killie. You're paying for the bigger name. Kirkinriola. I don't know what the appropriate toast is, because if I was to say Slanchava, it would be for a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. It's an Irish style whiskey, but it's made in Canada. So the appropriate thing would be to say cheers. You know what? I can't decide, so I'm going to let this little magic box here determine what the toast will be. I don't know what that was, so I'm going to say cheers and Slanchava.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.